Hello, today I'm going to review Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. Now, I have always been a huge fan of both Batman and Superman ever since I was a kid. It's been 3 years since we haven't had another superhero movies based on DC Comics. Me personally, I love Man of Steel. It's the best Superman movie I have ever seen, along with the original Superman movie from 1978 directed by Richard Donner. I also love Man of Steel the same way I love The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. So I was surprised that they're going to make a Batman vs Superman movie because I thought that idea were too early. I remember they have talked about making a Batman vs Superman movie back when I was 11 years old. However, I realized that they want to make a DC extended universe inspired by the success of Marvel. I finally saw this film with my uncle in IMAX 3D, and I actually think this film is great. I don't care what most people say, I really do think this is a fun, epic superhero crossover film. And I'm going to tell you why I enjoyed this movie without any spoilers. The story of this film took place after the events of Man of Steel. It starts off where after Superman fought General Zod in Metropolis, a billionaire named Bruce Wayne, who is of course Batman, believed that Superman is a threat to mankind, while some people believed that he is a god and a hero. Batman wanted to fight and get rid of Superman. But when an evil criminal mastermind named Lex Luthor had an evil plan to destroy them, Batman must team up with Superman along with Wonder Woman to face a new threat. I will definitely agree with my uncle that they really overdo the story of this film, and too many things been going on. I felt they focused too much on Batman rather than Superman. Also, there are parts in this film where I go like, whoa, I did not see that coming. Much like Iron Man 2, it felt more like a setup rather than a standalone film. Now moving on for the special effects and action scenes. The special effects in this film are great. Plus I can tell that the planet Earth, some of the buildings, Superman's eye beams, and buildings crumble are all in CGI. The designs of the Batmobile, the gadgets, and the Batcave are really well designed. The new Batman suit looks cool because it does look like the one in the Dark Knight Returns comic book by Frank Miller. However, I think the Batman suit in the Dark Knight trilogy is the best. Superman's suit from Man of Steel, as always, is awesome. Wonder Woman's costume was also well designed. Oh, and by the way, yes, Doomsday is in this movie, but I am not going to get too much into detail. All I can say that the character Doomsday is in motion capture. As for the action scenes, it was very intense and brutal. I really do like the fight scenes and the part where Superman comes to the rescue. I also enjoy the fight and confrontation between Batman and Superman. The best part of this film for me is where Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman team up together to fight Doomsday. This film sure had a lot of explosions and destructions. Now let's get to the acting, directing, music. Henry Cavill, as always, did an amazing job as Superman as he did in Man of Steel. His performance as Superman was a strong Kryptonian survivor who has the power of flying, sense things, hear things, and used his eye beams. Like in the comics, the cartoons, and the previous live-action Superman, he works at a daily planet as a journalist. In my opinion, Henry Cavill is the best Superman, along with the late Christopher Reeves and Tom Welling, who plays young Clark Kent in the TV show Smallville. Then there's Batman, played by Ben Affleck. Wow! Ben Affleck's performance as Batman was outstanding. Like Michael Keaton, people thought Ben Affleck is going to do an awful job playing Batman, but it turns out they were wrong. Ben pulled it off really well because he definitely looks like Bruce Wayne. He looks like the guy who can put on the Batman suit. His version of Batman was very dark, tough, and vengeful. While I loved Michael Keaton and Val Kilmer playing the previous live-action Batman, as well as Kevin Conroy who did the voice of Batman in the animated series from the 90s, Ben Affleck, in my opinion, is the second best actor who played Batman behind Christian Bale. Wonder Woman, played by Gal Gadot, who was from the Fast and the Furious movies, I think did a splendid job playing Wonder Woman, who was an Amazon princess warrior. Even though she did not do a lot of actions until the last minute, it was awesome to see her fight someone with her sword and fist. Plus, she wears a very nice dress. We will definitely see more of her in her own film coming in the summer of 2017. As for Alfred, played by Jeremy Iron, I think did a super great job playing that character who is Batman's butler that always wanted to help Batman. Returning from Man of Steel is Lois Lane, played by Amy Adams, Perry White, played by Lawrence Fishburne, who is also best known as Morpheus in the Matrix trilogy, and Jack Crawford in the Hannibal TV show, and Martha Kent, played by Diane Lane, all did a great job as always. Lois Lane is Superman's girlfriend, who also works at a Daily Planet as a reporter. Perry White is the boss of a Daily Planet. Martha Kent is Superman's adopted mother, who is the only one in the Kent family staying close to Superman after her husband died. Now for the villain, Lex Luthor, played by Jesse Eisenberg, who was from Zombieland, The Social Network, and Now You See Me. I think he did a fine job playing Lex Luthor, who was an evil genius that was over the top insane. I enjoyed Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor more than Gene Hackman and Kevin Spacey. While I think those guys did a good job playing that villain Lex Luthor, Jesse I think did a nice job. However, the best Lex Luthor for me is Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville. Zack Snyder, who directed 300 and Watchmen, did a clever job directing this movie as he did Man of Steel. He's really good at directing movies with amazing visuals and actions. However, he focused more on the actions in this film rather than the story. The music composed by both Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL, who did the music for films like 300, Rising an Empire, and Mad Max Fury Road, did a brilliant job doing the music for this film. Listening to the music of this film sounds very strong, intense, and super. Overall, this is a great crossover superhero movie. While it's not as amazing as The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Rises, and Man of Steel, I like this movie the same way I like Deadpool. Now I know that this film has gotten mixed reviews, but to be honest, I enjoy this film no matter what anybody say. I am definitely looking forward to see other DC movies in this extended universe like Suicide Squad, which will be released this coming summer, as well as Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Aquaman, Shazam, a Green Lantern reboot, and of course, Justice League, which will be split into two. Well, this is a big year for superhero movies. First, we got Deadpool in this film. Now we are going to have Captain America Civil War, X-Men Apocalypse, and Doctor Strange. If you're a fan of DC Comics, go see it. So I give this movie 4 out of 5 nuclear bombs.